Greetings, this is rsmalec for svmgaming with a look at LEGO Universe. Alright, so after playing through the tutorial in the first few worlds, you're going to get to an advanced area, so I'm going to use my main character to show you that. Now once you complete the tutorial world in Avant Gardens, you're going to be deposited at Nimbus Station. Nimbus Station serves two main purposes. One, it's a central hub to get to all of the worlds, and two, it's where you're going to choose one of your factions. In LEGO Universe, your minifig can belong to one of four factions. The first faction is the Assembly. The Assembly uses building and crafting to fight against the Maelstrom. Each of these factions has three specialties. You can think of these as classes. The Assembly specialties are Engineer, Summoner, and Inventor. The next faction is the Sentinels. The Sentinels are combat focused with heavy weapons and armor. The three specialties for the Sentinels are the Knight, the Samurai, and the Space Ranger. The third choice of faction is called Paradox. Paradox rely on magic and the study of the Maelstrom for their power. They prefer ranged weapons. Their specialties are the Space Marauder, the Sorcerer, and the Shinobi. Which leaves my faction, the Venture League. Now the Venture League rely on exploring, strong weapons, and fast attacks. The three specialties for the Venture League are Daredevil, Buccaneer, and Adventurer. I'm going to show you what it's like to talk to my faction vendor. So first of all, he's got different quests available. Orders from Nexus, and daily quests, as well as his own shop. During your play, you're going to gather faction tokens. I've got about 236 right now. Faction tokens are used to buy different ranks of books, which enable you to be these specialties. They also allow you to buy different gear specific to your specialty. So here's the Daredevil rank 1. Daredevil rank 2, and I have not, and you can't get rank 3 here. I think you can get that in one of the other space stations. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to take a quick look into my backpack. Now that this character has a number of weapons and armor and items, I can show you the different slots on the character screen. Head, body, arms, legs. These correspond to the different shortcut keys down below. If you'll notice in my backpack, I can switch my armor, and it's going to give me different abilities. So this Daredevil Jacket 1 will give me +1 shield and +1 imagination, and it only goes into my chest slot here. However, the gi that I was wearing actually takes up 3 slots in my gear, but it gives me +6 shield and +8 imagination. The red hat that I have also allows me to pass through Paradox force field, so items can have special properties. Now I've got a number of cosmetic items as well, like a brown shoulder owl, which changes my helmet look, shields, oh yes, and weapons. The default for the Daredevil is a ranged weapon, paired pistols. However, I can easily switch to handed weapons. Or to my default gi, which actually takes up my hand slot and allows me to fight hand to hand. The other thing you'll notice are some items in here which will slowly regain your power over time. For example, this boombox allows me to gain 10 imagination over time. So another big part of this game are pets. Now pets are initially obtained in a place called Pet Cove. You'll obtain your pet by doing a number of quests, learning how to interact with your pet, and how to tame new pets. Once you've tamed enough pets, you can unlock things like the Great Lion. To tame a pet, you simply walk up to it with the required amount of imagination, click Shift, and you'll enter a pet screen. You have a set amount of time to choose blocks that can be used to construct the pet's favorite item. When you think you've got it right, you click the Build button. If successful, you'll build the pet's item, and the pet will be tamed. If you're not successful, you can just try again. When you get a new pet, you can try to name it. You have to submit the name to Mythran approval. Just like your character name, there is a set list of names that are allowed. Obviously, that name's not approved. So let's take a quick look at some of the pets that I have. I have a Triceratops, a red Triceratops by the name of Pierce. This is Volcano, my red dragon. I have a goat. Praying mantis. And so on. I'm pretty sure you get the idea. Pets are basically used for collectors. There's no real reward for getting multiple pets other than achievements. Now see what these pets are doing here. Pets have a unique function in the game. If you stand on certain platforms, your pet can actually launch you up into the air. But that's not all pets can do. The other thing pets can do is dig up treasures for you. You wait for your pet to go on a treasure, and you hit Shift. Your pet will dig up the treasure, and then you can collect the bricks, imagination, or other items. It doesn't seem like much, but there's actually an achievement for digging up treasure chests in every world. Just as you have the ability to edit your minifig and your spaceship, you can also create your own vehicle. And what do you use that for? Well, racing, of course. Racing in LEGO Universe is quite easy. It just uses the directional keys for movement and the spacebar for boosts. 3 quick laps around a track and you're ready to claim your rewards. So after fighting through hordes of mobs, you're going to want to come up against something a little more challenging. In this case, I'm going to show you instances. Now, like most MMOs, the point of an instance is to fight uber villains and get uber gear. This one's no exception. It's got a very small approach area, followed by 3 platforms with dragons, in which you can do battle and obtain monstrous gear. As you can see, the rest of my team is already up there engaging the dragon in combat. So here we are up on the Blast Breath's platform. I'm going to use my special move against him. You can see the dragon's purple health bar, and he's got a massive shield bar. dragon is defeated, you gain massive amounts of faction tokens. Another mini-game inside of LEGO Universe are survival battles. This one happens to be called the Battle for Nimbus Station. Battle for Nimbus Station happens to be a timed event, and the longer you survive, the more your rewards are. Now, unlike most MMOs, the endgame is not actually instances, it's owning property and building. So here's my property on Nimbus Rock, and here are random other properties of people that I can go and check out. But let's go check out mine. So the way property works in this game is you actually have to rent it by month. So I'm actually renting this property at a cost of 500 golds per month. I've got about 7,600 gold. You can also share your property publicly with your friends or privately. Mine's on private by default. Once you own and rent a property, you simply come into the property and you can build with either your models or your bricks. First thing I'm going to do is show you the models. Here's a large cannon model. If I double click, I'll put on my imagination helmet and I can carry the model around and then place it anywhere I like. That model is now part of my property. I can do that for all kinds of different models. Arches, buildings, small and large. The red squares on the ground mean that it's not going to fit there properly, and the gray squares mean it fits just fine. Or I can make my own models out of individual blocks. This is a 2x3 brick. I can place it anywhere I want. I can do simple things to it, hinge it, clone it, change its color, group it, move it around. Changing the colors actually as simple as clicking a color palette. I can take a 2x4 brick and put that right on top. Whoops. And let's say I wanted to make that one gray. Now, some of the people in these worlds have made an enormous set of structures. I've just simply put some random stuff out here to give you an idea of what you can do. So these are the world builder creations. A recent entry to LEGO Universe is Starbase 3001. This allows you access to worlds created by LEGO players who have built enough in their properties. So this is the moon base. This is a LEGO world created completely by a LEGO fan. Fan-made LEGO worlds are just like the normal worlds in LEGO. They can have quests, they have achievements, and you can go around and get items and score, as well as fighting creatures. So that's LEGO Universe in a nutshell. Whether you enjoy questing and fighting, collecting and achieving, racing, or just building on your own private property, or just getting smashed by a big huge ape. So this has been rsmalec for SVM Gaming, playing Lego Universe. See you in game.